How fitting. But hello, and welcome to whosoever may be receiving this message. It is time for us to go back into the journey that is the Majora's Mask randomizer, which I was going to be streaming yesterday, but because of a mixture of Twitch breaking all of a sudden, which seems to be pretty much alleviated at this point, and other bizarre shenanigans, mostly to do with my inability to keep a consistent sleep cycle. I didn't end up doing that, so I probably will be doing like a make-up stream on Saturday or something, but for now, why don't we go ahead and actually head into the game that I am playing at this point. It is just gonna take a minute to start up, but what shall we do today? Shall we see today, I wonder? Will the software capture for this thing be already configured? Yes, apparently it will. Okay, good. So we can just drive straight into it and move away from the dulcet tones of what I'm pretty sure is the Rogue Legacy OST, and instead hear that sound effect, which we have to witness every single time we end up going into the game. Alright, let's see. There are a couple of things here that I do want to keep track of, get on top of. Well, I guess just a second before, but mostly right as I get back into the swing of things here. Because of a few things, I am pretty confident that at this point I should be able to clear at least one of the dungeons. Also, let me lower the game volume a little bit, just enough that it's not too crazy. It doesn't actually go into the yellow portion of the audio level thing here. Even though I go quite a bit beyond that in the regular, but priorities am I right? But let's see. So last time I did this, we did manage to pretty much get our first bottle of this entire run, even though we got 18 freaking masks already, as you can tell, but we still hadn't managed to get a bottle. I'll figure how that works. Let's see. And we basically went around and tried to figure out which of the bottle items had replaced one another, because those are in fact still randomized. Or also randomized. We should have the regular bomb bag too, which I'm pretty sure was a recent acquisition, which only holds 20 bombs, so we're missing 2 items, a few masks, and some of the upgrades too, and a couple of the songs. Come all this way and we still don't have the bomber's notebook, by the way, but I managed to snag a few more things, which should help for quality of life, trying to get through this. But as long as we're in the town, I guess something we can do, like pretty much immediately, is if we go to East Clock Town, we did manage to get the couple's mask at some point last time, so if we go to here, actually hold on a second. I was going to try something, but now that I'm considering it more closely, I might need to think about it for a second. But if I were to go to the mountain village, I think I would be able to like melt the hearth there and maybe see if I can upgrade my sword, even though I didn't even know that dialogue would trigger, considering that that I don't have the regular sword anymore. I just have like permanently the racer sword, because apparently it's impossible for it to break in this rando, so I'm just kind of stuck with it until I get the gilded sword, which would be nice. But let's see. If I were to do that, I would either need the fire arrow, which I don't have, or the hot spring water. Where do I get hot spring water? We get it from Fairy. Okay, so it should be possible to get that. Hold on. I'm pretty sure that I actually considered doing that last time, like the end of the last time that I was playing this, but I didn't because I had gotten something else. I think those Echo Princess, yeah. So I'm looking at the tracker here, and what I marked is that apparently if you try to pick up actual hot spring water, what you get instead is the Echo Princess, so can't really get rid of that. And we only have one bottle. And you can't get rid of that unless you take it all the way to the freaking Dinka Palace, which I guess is technically an option too, but well, let's get this ready. To catch a fairy, which will turn hot spring water and with hot spring water. As is helpfully pointed out by the in-game characters themselves, that should be good enough to melt the ice on the hearth here. Let's see if it works, and if it does, let's see if we get an option. Because there's a couple of things that we should be doing in the town. Well, we can go right up to the hearth, there we go. Just gonna wait until this thing breaks and then we can just release the water. Pretty much the stuff that we can do in the town at this point that we haven't yet, I guess. We're getting the heart piece from the mayor's office and getting the honey and darling mid-game rewards for all 3 days. Can we actually do something in here now that we've done that? Let's see. Our offers, right, for today's hot deal. It will cost you 100 rupees, it will be ready at sunrise. Okay, so I do want to do it, but yeah, we don't have that much. But I guess they changed this too, I wasn't really aware of this, so even if so pretty much the stuff that you can get from there is available independently of whether or not you have of what sort you have, basically. So how can we easily get 100 rupees? That should be I don't know, we can just like take it from the bank, or we can go to some wacky rupee trading in the town, or we could just go outside on the field and I don't know, kill some dodongos. That's like the quick way. Which we probably should get that at any rate if we're gonna do like the we're gonna do both the honey and darling stuff and something else. Then we should be able to we should be able to like do that minigame in one day and then go collect the reward for the first day. But well, should I don't know, I guess we will go and kill them so we get some money quick. Hey Whittlesbon, how's it going? Pretty good to see you here. With my bad control of this game, even in an emulator. My voice, which very much betrays the fact that I have to figure out a way to talk, even though I pretty much haven't opened my mouth all day prior to this point. Yeah, welcome. Doing good, that's good here. How's you? Yeah, it's been pretty chill here as well. With me trying to figure out stuff to do in this rando. Probably shouldn't even have killed that dude because I'm gonna get the full wallet from down here regardless, but yeah. Anything you up to today? In particular because oh shoot. Didn't really have anything too particular that I needed to do, but I might actually go for my first ever attempt at completing an eBay auction today, just to see how it works and we can get early newish game for a slightly less unreasonable price than it seems to be sold for pretty much everywhere else at this time. And I have no idea how it'll work because it will be international too, so what I want to believe. I did pretty much already complete something like that from a different, oh I missed the purple P, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna get the full wallet anyway. Plus we get another 50 from this guy, and then this is gonna have 100 inside, so that's already 10. So let's quickly sit back to the town and get the year's reward from that. But we did get the masquerade. Hold on a second, actually. Alright, hopefully that helps. Not yet, time to get back into the town. Maybe that helps, or maybe that just makes it kind of worse. But as you can tell, as you might be able to tell, some of the stuff that's randomized in this version is things that weren't necessarily available in previous versions, and also that don't really have that much of an impact on the game itself, but it's still kind of a fun thing to have, like the music and the sound effects, and you can play as this dude as well. Which has also the dog sounds like that. Interesting repercussion when it comes to doing the actual cafe side quest, because you might notice that Cafe's mask in this version looks a little bit different. Just a bit of a fun thing to have, but it's not even the mask that we're going to be using right now, so let's see. Irish residence, this has like the Steam, number 1 Steam. Go into this room and it turns into the Oath Order, I forgot about that. I'm sure I checked this like right at the start of the game, but I haven't really gone into it before I was able to grab this. Let's see. Couple's mask is going to result in, well, it would ordinarily result in a piece of heart, but in this timeline, with these modifications to the universe, we instead get a different mask, the Mask of Sense. Which means that we should be able to get another bottle item, which I'm not even sure if we're going to be needing, but it's a good thing, so go ahead and mark that in my tracker here, the visual one, and also to mark that I did indeed grab the thing that's in the mayor's office, which would be in East Clocktown, so it's marked as mayor. There we go. At this point I could either go and straight into the minigame shop that's in this very same part of town and try to do the first day thing, but I have no idea how well that'll go, because something that I actually made sure that on purpose that I wasn't actually going to be needing to do for sure for this season, because I hate doing it even in the vanilla game, even though I like this game a lot. One thing that I really don't like doing is the friggin' shooting gallery minigames. But one of the 3-day things from the minigame shop that I am gonna have to do now, just kind of that. Let's see, now we should be able to get the first day thing from this guy. Change from actually upgrading the sword to just, yeah, we're gonna be selling you a completely unknown item, then we're not even gonna tell you what it is, so tomorrow morning, there we go. I guess because it doesn't even have anything to do with the sword anymore, they don't take anything from you, or like in preparation to give you that. Whereas in the vanilla game, they take your sword so that they can actually upgrade it. But I guess now that we've put in the special order for whatever item that turns out to be, let's go ahead and come here and actually do the minigame. I'd actually attempt to do a dungeon today, but I have no idea if, like, how much I'll actually be able to get done outside of the town, but let's see. But sure, this is the place I'm looking for. Yeah. I'm gonna need some money to just make the attempt here, I think, so. Yeah. Hold on, what is the music here again? I need to actually put in my other earbud so I can... I think that's a Song of Healing, that's like... a different song that even the one that plays in other like indoor shops that have the same sound font. I don't remember what the song that usually plays with this sound font in this randomizer is though. Let's see. Yeah, wouldn't you know it, apparently in this first day we need to use the... Oh, it's a bombshell one, I thought it was gonna be the bow one. This is slightly less terrible, I guess. If we can actually manage it, though. Well, apparently we can't. Well, That's okay, we have plenty of abilities. I think we got the timing down. Just like, let it go when you're in the right edge. Yeah. But just hitting the right edge of the background where the freaking targets are. Seems to be working out, kind of. Which is just like the best thing. There's two more actually help. Oh boy, I got screwed over by the last one. That might very well happen just now. Yeah, it looks like that did happen. Oh well. Alright, let's try again. Pretty much like with the freaking Deku playground, it's... I am brought always by the knowledge that I only have to do this once. Let's try this one more time, and let's try not to screw it up this time. I get everything on the first round, because... Oh, that actually worked out. That did not work out. If we can yeah, do it in the first round and maybe like boost ourselves along a little bit. So, pretty sure that the way it works is depending on the time remaining, that's when this starts to get faster. Okay, well that one did work. Yeah, I did notice the lost correct for that. By the way, that one went all the way in the different direction. Hold on. I'm trying to go any further and counter... This is counterclockwise, right? I know directions. That's literally the last two, and apparently those two are gonna be the problem ones. Tornado got it at the last possible moment. There we go. Well, I dare say the actual mask acquisition medley is the most appropriate medley or fanfare to have for finally being able to get that. Oh wow. Or whatever, that's not the important reward. The important reward would be the one that we get from actually doing that 3 days in a row. Now let's warp to the mountain village and just focus on this completely for this cycle. These two things. Any day is a purple rupee. There we go. Let's make it more than the second day so we can claim whatever the reward is. I think I already know what it is, and that's actually going to give us a little bit more to do in this cycle. But let's just go ahead and stand right here, I guess, and use the Song of Sound Song. We can artificially speed up time, that's in addition to this version of the randomizer. Instead of just doing the scripted thing where it warps you to the next day transition, it actually just speeds up the frames until it gets to the next day. Or the next division, I guess. Which is pretty nifty, and I'm pretty sure it's a little bit faster than the usual one too. Oh, I forgot about that transition sound for some reason, even though I hear it all the time. But let's see, they should have something for me now, and maybe I'll be able to... Yep, this is how you get the friggin' wood steer in this seed. They should have something else from me, or for me, for the third day. I actually guessed in how this is gonna work, let's see. Or to be special, we need to get hold of some gold dust. Oh no. We're gonna have to, like, do this again in the future, so we can't really... yeah. Okay, so the requirement is the same, but it's, much like the previous one, it's not actually sword related this time. We are gonna have to, like, actually complete... well, say we're actually gonna have to complete the Goron races, but then I remember this is in fact a randomizer, so for all I know the gold dust is gonna be somewhere completely different. Like, it's gonna be the Deca Princess or something. But since we have the Moonsteer, which this is the first time we've ever acquired the Moonsteer in this run, we'll be able to do a few new things in the town, like trade it off to the Well, pretty much the only thing that you're supposed to do. Where did I go to the milk road? God damn it. Need to go to the town. You're supposed to do it in the vanilla game, and it's pretty much the only use that it has is trade it off to the Deku Scrub in the town. Which, actually, hold on a second. Didn't I make it to the... Oh yeah, I did, never mind, Final day chest, piece of heart. I did collect that, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why I didn't mark it off in this tracker, but now that we have that, we should be able to get this dude to show up and actually be able to get something from him, which never bothered to make him show up in the past because we couldn't, you know, we didn't have the moon steer to actually trade off and get something. Let's have a look at what he'll give us for this. There you go. Oh, it just gives you money. Well, isn't that nice, but we don't really need that anymore. And it talks about the title deed, even though that's not what we acquired. And the scrub trade was just freaking money. I don't know why. Oh, it's not marked as gettable because I forgot to mark the moon steer also. There we go, it's in the mountain village. Hold on. It's down here somewhere. Here it's Smithy Day 1, and we don't know what the Smithy Day 2 is because we need freaking... What's it called? We need gold dust to actually be able to get that, but now that we've gotten that, now that we've gotten the trade in which we gave the thing to that guy, should be able to get another theoretical heart piece, so I guess we'll go ahead and get that before we attempt the second day version of the minigame. To do that, we can get into the observatory either by the normal way, which we could do because we have the code, we got that a while ago, but... Sure, yeah, you can also take the Deku Flower and just get in here that way. But then nothing, you can just back to the thing in the town if you want to get there the easy way. And we probably will do that, because since we are forever locked out of getting the Bomber's Notebook, I guess, or at least we still are locked out of that, we get to figure out where it is. And we're gonna get stopped by the dude every time we try to like go into town from the sewers. But yeah, let's see, if we traded off the thing to that guy, it should show up somewhere around here, I think. I don't remember if you have to see it on the telescope. Oh, there we go. It is. Isn't this a perfectly fitting, you know, song replacement for trying to keep track of where this guy is gonna fly off to? Which might be harder than you'd imagine. Doing that just like zooms by the piece like that. I don't even know if he's visible after that point. There's also a dude that's on top of that thing, I don't remember that. Oh wait, there he goes. I guess he does circle back around. I'm pretty sure he does actually freaking lose... They go completely out of sight of the telescope after he goes right in front of the eyepiece like that. Yeah, we discovered something very interesting. We're gonna have to actually walk back to the town so we can go out into the field, because we can't actually get back out without a magic bean. Oh shoot. I guess we need to actually go outside to do that though. It's literally right in front of us, but we can't get there. Without a magic bean, or just with something crazy like the its sword glitch, which I don't really feel like attempting right now, so... I believe that was one of the things I pretty much was forced to learn, just to be able to get through the old versions of this randomizer that were less refined. But still want to avoid glitches whenever possible in my current runs. See, it's to the west of here, right? Or to the left, I guess that's technically towards the east. Observatory, now we should be able to surprise that dude and buy something of him. Don't know if he's gonna be talking about a piece of heart or something else. I'm not gonna be buying this guy's stuff. Having a piece of heart, well, it does say piece of heart, so it probably will be an actual piece of heart. Let's... Yeah, well, you know, that was actually not randomized, but hey, we got a new piece of heart. Isn't that nice? So let's see. What would that be? I guess the scrub trade, scrub hideout in the Trebida field. Do I have such a thing marked? No, I just have Camaro. Obviously scrub purchase. Never mind, there we go. Which we still don't have the sign of healing. It's pretty much, I think that is pretty much it as far as what we can get from the, what's it called, from the wound steer though, pretty much. Only the thing that he trades for you initially, and this thing that we just bought, and in theory also the thing that's on top of the big structure in South Clock Town on the final day, but we already got that by getting there with the hook shot, so it's not even a factor anymore. Not something that we definitely ought not to waste this. We should go ahead and complete this Honey and Darling minigame thing. Pretty sure that pretty much all of these things are gonna be equally terrible, but we better get them done. Like maybe in the future I'll just make like actual adjustments to the seeds that I do for this game, just so I can ensure that no, I don't have to do any of this, or like this handling the stuff from the freaking, oh shoot, actually did bounce off. I'm gonna, like the way the other baskets were reacting, it looks like as long as he touches the basket it's guaranteed to go in, but I guess not. Oh, there we go, that was kind of lucky, oh shit. There we go, I guess that was actually the easiest one. Like as far as minigames, what else could I possibly cut out in theory like this, and the shooting galleries, which I already cut out, and the freaking Deku playground, and the chest minigame, I guess. That one's not too bad, but it's probably a lot better if you like already have the route memorized. I don't even know if it changes from like each game or which, or if it changes based on the randomizer or anything like that. Well, hello, Tree Pangolin, how's it going? Welcome into me fumbling about with Majora's Mask randomizer, which, let me see, I would just like jump ahead to the third day and get the final reward from this, so I can put that totally behind me at this point, but hold on a second. Okay, so that some stuff was unmarked in the West Clock Town for the Curiosity Shop, but I realized that was just like the, I don't know, selling stuff off to the shop rewards, but it shouldn't be randomized, and indeed it's not, so I don't know what do we have left to acquire in the town at this point. Stuff from the Enjoying Cafe side quest, which I can't really do because I need to figure out where the Pendant of Memory is, and the Pendant of Memories is, and the Letter to Cafe. I'm pretty sure I have neither of those things, even though those are pretty important. I'm pretty sure that if I had both of those things, I could just complete that quest, because I only have Cafe's Mask. But of course, I haven't figured out where they are. I'm pretty sure that the first of those I need to have before the first night, and the second I need to have before at the end of the second day. But let's see, other than that there's the in-guest room chest, which I'm pretty sure we can't get to because we don't know where the room key is yet either. other than that, it doesn't really look like there's anything left. Well, there's the all-night mask purchase, which can't get regardless because we need the... not right now, because we need the giant wallet for that, and we don't have that yet either. That's unfortunate. Oh well, time to start going through the things that I can't get elsewhere. I guess if I were to go to the swamp, I could, now that I do have a bottle, I should be able to save Kome some red potion, but... But do I have, do I know where to get red potion? Like if I do a freaking Control F on this thing. Oh. Just the stuff location is marked here, hold on. About regular red potion. Get some red potion from the baby Goron, we can get some red potion from the... oh yeah, from the trading post actually in town. Maybe we ought to do that just to figure out what that is, but... you know what, why don't we just go ahead and expand the rest of this 3-day cycle. So we can get the final reward from this place. So alright, let's go to here. It's been pretty chill here too. Which is always nice. I'm pretty sure that we didn't get to hear the bell sound effect there. Went by too quickly. Alright, there we go. Final play of this. It's gonna be the bow one. Boy, it's gonna be potentially even easier, but how many actual targets there are in this? Alright. Let me just move things a little bit here so I can sit back a little bit and make this a little bit less painful, but... of course. And then this crap starts happening. Yeah, screw you guys. Don't you just spam arrows? Seems to be the only way. Okay, that went right through it. I'm pretty sure that I can see an arrow stuck in that freaking target. Before I even got it. Who knows, this might actually be as painful as I remember. So, but then this started happening, so... a moot point. Just be quiet, because it seems like every time I try to say something like that, it just changes it. Never mind, I guess that when we were able to get on the first go. Yes, technically the hardest one of these minigames was the bombshell one. For some reason it would have been the last one that I would have labeled as, or chalked up to being that, I guess. 3 days in a row. What do we get for that? Oh, why do you know it's a piece of heart? God damn it. I mean, totally worth it, dude. Okay, so let's mark a new piece of heart here, and let's mark that one. Once we figured out what the friggin' what this reward was, I guess. Where's East Clock Town? Hold on. There it is. Okay, so... oh goodness. Let's go ahead and just play the Sign of Time, I guess. Let's get a bunch of pieces of heart and we got the Mask of Sense. It's kind of weird that the most useful thing that we got from this particular cycle was the Mask of Sense, even though we managed to discover a couple other new things. I guess the first thing we're going to be doing now in this new cycle that we're heading for is trying to save Kome, so... I guess we're going to go to the Goron Shrine so we can get some free red potion and then just going to take it straight to her in the swamp. See what that nets us. Apparently, if we just go down the list of stuff that's acquirable right now, well, I guess we can do the Swamp Spider House too. But yeah, first, it might actually be time for us to maybe wear the Sign of Time so we have some extra leeway if we're gonna start doing some of the dungeon stuff. But let's see, we need to go to the Goron village, mountain village. Get some free red potion, take you to the swamp, and maybe we'll do the spider house and maybe even the swamp temple, the woodfall temple. We'll be able to get in there and yeah, because like I said, I'm pretty sure the stuff that I wanted to get before I attempted that one in particular would have been well, the stuff that you need to beat it, and that you need to get all the stray fairies, which is well, what would it be actually? The mask, the bow, and the straight fairy mask. I think is pretty much it. So, there's the path to Snowhead, right? This is the place that I want to go. The place that I want to go is actually behind this building. Also need to figure out where the gold dust is so that we can get the second report from the smithy there. But well, I have a fairly good suspicion of where that might be. So we found out that the hot spring water is actually the Deku Princess. If you try to pick that up in your bottle, then it does make you wonder, doesn't it, what the Deku Princess will be when you try to put her in the bottle. What is a settlement, as some people might say? I forgot this freaking marketplace music. It's the actual sound effect for the crying baby here. Oh, it's falling down. Well, it's preferable to the actual baby crying sound effect, at least. Oh, let me just approach as they go around and we get it. Yeah, there we go. We got red potion. And we get to watch this cutscene over and over again, I guess, in this version of events, even though I'm pretty sure that's ordinarily in the vanilla game, but yeah, you can only see that like once per file, because it corresponds to playing the lullaby intro before it turns into the full song. But once you get the full song, you can't get it to just become the intro again, so... Do we have the red potion in the bottle now? Yeah, okay, yeah, we do. Let's go and have a look. Swamp, to see what we get from rescuing the witch. I don't know what would be the items that I would want the most right now. I guess just get as many masks as possible, get the oath to order, and get the... I'll just get more bottles, because we're gonna need those for a few things. You know what? It occurs to me that we haven't actually heard the sound effect that's when we draw in this form yet. Apparently that one was not replaced, even though I'm pretty sure that we heard that sound effect for something else and completely that's not supposed to have that sound effect initially. Oh, I forgot about this, hold on. Slow down time, I think it might actually be warranted in this this timeline, as I said, because we might actually attempt the dungeon, so use the extra time. But yeah, let's go and save Koma here. Talk to this stone ever? I don't remember if I did. I don't think we did. See, a river dweller brings explosive mice. A river dweller. That be the Deku scroll that trades for the ocean title deed, and that's in a kind of canyon next to the river, even though that's not really next to the river as much as it is in a big cliff that is next to the river. But it's not really on the same level as it. Alright, there we go. Probably wouldn't be that hard to actually learn that you need to take the to get the rewards here, because it does seem to be the same every time, but I'm still too lazy to do that. Come on, control stick, don't fail me now. There we go. I'm pretty sure we don't get a reward from this just immediately here, but we need to go back and talk to her after this. I guess ordinarily we would get the big toe box from this, which is something else that we haven't acquired yet, but we might want to get before we go to the... Not a great way, but... I mean, at this point, who knows when we'll get any of that. But for now, why don't we try to, like, I don't know, clear out as much of the swamp as possible. Maybe like the spider house in the actual dungeon, and just whatever we get from the... helping this dude. Whatever we're about to get right now, basically. I do just love how there's a freaking, you know, fairy in a bottle model there, but that doesn't come with the bottle, so if you don't have one, it's just a waste. Cruise for free, and also whatever this is, so I think we're hoped to give it a busk. Well, there you go. I really need that for Canacanigan, but we're also going to be forced to take the boat cruise, even though we don't have a reason to take it right now. Oh boy, it's literally just the horse race music. Or at least for that little section it was randomly put in the other ear, but I can't tell if it's just like panned or if it's going quiet entirely. Nope, it's going quiet entirely. But freaking horse race music just changed to this sound font. Well, when it plays, apparently it doesn't want to play very frequently. Okay, I guess we did it. Well, maybe it's a Goron races theme rather than the horse race. Could actually be. So, pretty much only missing, before the end game, we're only missing Don Garrow's mask, the captain's hat, and the giant's mask. Which have pretty limited applications, so here we're just embarking, sure. I mean, if we had some spring water, we could take it to the what's her face, well, if you not actual hot spring water in the bottle, but if we had a source of hot spring water, we could grab the deck, for instance, and bring it to the palace and see what happens there, but... Something else we could do in the swamp here, actually, is go and rescue the monkey and... what do you call it? I think that would ordinarily be the Sonata of Awakening, but what would be something else in this timeline? Shoot. Need some Deku sticks too, so we can actually... Oh. We can actually get into the spider house there. I can't believe we... any of those. Hold on, let's see. Let's get in this grotto. Let's see if by chance we are able to get any from the freaking Deku here. This one is not gonna drop any, but these guys are. There we go. To trick. Because we have the whatever this is again, it's probably gonna be a heart container now. Or recovery heart, yeah, because the chest indicates that that was an important item before, whatever it was, but now it's not. Let's see, we do need a bottle, we do need the bunny hood, and we do need what else? Some magic beans. Well, no, not magic beans actually, but we can skip the magic beans altogether if we have the bunny hood and the hook shot. That's up to you. We don't actually need magic beans right now, so let's burn these cobwebs down if we can. We might have to. There we go. There first. This thing's still gotta be lit when we go in there, I guess not. I'm not a monster. I'm pretty sure that we know that the... If we look at the bug marking, or the bottle markings, if we bottle up some fresh spring water, it turns into a bug, so that's basically perfectly covered when it comes to things on the walls here, so let's if I can remember how to do this. Oh, there's a sculpture right there. Oh god, I can play over and over. So if we just scoop up some water, it turns into bugs. So let's get the couple that are in this room just already right off the bat. Who knows, maybe one day I'll be crazy enough to try one of those seeds where you can actually randomize not only the stuff that I have randomized right now, but also the stuff like the gold sculpture tokens and the dungeon items. I'm pretty sure that I tried something like that in the last time I tried to do a actual seed for this game, but I just never bothered to complete it. I feel like if I were to do something like that, I would have to like play casually off stream. All the time that would be involved in checking everything. There's another one on this side, and I'm pretty sure that one of the pots next to the ramp that goes outside also has these spiders inside. Let's go to the spirits. I'm pretty sure there's 30 in each of these houses, so just have to keep checking. I don't remember, but I think one of these might have a spider that comes down from the upper level. One of these columns. Let's just wait for that dude to come down again so we can actually get the thing. You can also grab it on like the upper level, but why wait that long when you can do it right here? I don't remember that we need bugs for any of the other rooms. I don't think we do, but I don't remember. Let's just I'll take a look at the other rooms and see what we get. Pretty sure this is one of the ones where there's that dude up there. Ordinarily, you would only be able to collect the token that drops with the beam, but as we have the hook shot, we don't even need to adhere to that. I'm pretty sure that we might also be able to, we might also be able to complete the ocean spider house with this, but there we go. The items that we currently have, but before we go into the ocean spider house, I would like to get the captain's hat, because it's something that's going to be useful for when we go into. Let's see, let's try punching this rock a little bit. I don't know if, well, that's where you would plant the magic bean, I guess, but like I said, there's no need for that. If you can, if you have the hook shot on the bunny hook, you can just make the jump. In another room that would also ordinarily require you to have a magic beam, so... Expert sequence breaking there. Right, so we're almost halfway done with this place. Going quite swiftly. Of course, I would expect nothing less. This dude. Start doing the wall here. I'm not sure how you would get that, or not, I guess with the flower. But you'll be able to collect that token without the hook shot. Go over to it with the deck of flower. Alright, I see no more spiders here, so I guess we're just gonna go ahead and, yeah. Pretty sure that's why there's a deck of flower on top of that column there. Its whole purpose in existence. Let's see, what about this side? Oh boy. I'm pretty sure that we were supposed to bring another bug up here specifically for this. God damn it. Well, whatever. Should have to circle back around. So, mental note. There is in fact a bug on the side there, on the upper level in the center room. At the entrance that we need to go back to. We also need to go to these hives up here so we can build one or two more of these spiders. Or the bees. Well, the bees are the bad choice, but well, what are we gonna do? There we go. Sometimes when you break hives you get bees, but it's an occupational hazard, you might say. We also need a Sonata of Awakening for that guy. We can't complete this until we have that, but we do, so good. Now we're gonna have to bump into these spots with the thing. Just do the regular link form attack where we can punch him with the door. I'm pretty sure one of these should have a spooler inside. Yeah, we might actually have to run into them because one of these should have a spooler inside that pops out when you do that. I checked the one over here too, just to be safe. I don't know if this guy's gonna wake up with the if we play this with the green or if it has to be with the pipes, but I guess we'll try it this way. I'm not sure that playing this on any instrument works when you're trying to wake up a Skull Kita, and apparently it also works for this guy. There you go. He just leaves the flower open for you. But I think he also destroys the... Oh, never mind, he doesn't destroy this stuff like you do it yourself. Yeah. What else is there in this room? Because I'm still hearing noises, but I'm not even sure why. I guess it would be from... Oh god, I don't know. There's a guy, never mind. So what now, what? I'm pretty sure you should have to hear these noises in rooms where aren't any dudes left. Or, you know, the other way around. The opposite of what I just said. You only hear those noises in the rooms where there's at least one of the bugs left, but... I don't know, maybe that isn't how it works. Let's clean this place out. Yeah. Ooh, there's a dude right next to me, hold on. Dudes, even though they're bugs, I don't know if... I can interpret that. What if I hit this thing? What does this do again? Oh, it just makes the ladder appear. Or ladders plural, okay, ladder singular. And that, oh, we're at the point where we can skip a jump with the body hood. And we are 2/3 through this place as well. Let's see. These guys hidden in the crates. Not in these crates apparently, because yeah, here's where you're supposed to use the body hood. What you're supposed to do there is use a magic beam, but as you can see, you can skip that with the bunny hood, so... Difference. What does this stone say? An amphibian choir holds a lover's plight. Oh boy. That means that we need to get the fucking frog choir together to... Hold on a second. I get the spiders that show up in this room out of the tree yet, because I do remember you need to bump into the tree to get them to pop out, but... Where did this one? Hold on. Also one just like roll me around the room apparently before you do it. And we have to do the fucking Dongero Choir quest before we can even do the Cafe and Andrew quest. That kind of sucks. If that's the case. I think that's pretty much all the ones that are in here. There's one that we missed on the top level and the I guess there's this crap on the top that we haven't checked yet. One on the top level, that's on the soil, that's on the wall, that we didn't have the bugs for when we touched with that the first time. Here's another one, I guess. Yeah, you know, actually face it, control stick please, there. But I would leave that one and then 4 more, I suppose. Oh gee, I do wonder where they could be. Because this leads back to like the room with the this room with the pots, but I'm still hearing noises like there's one left in this place, even though I don't know where it could be. Behind the pots, but not inside the pots. I guess not. I already checked the one in the pots, unless there's like multiple ones and I don't remember. That should be the case. I know where. Oh yeah, there's 2 in the pots, I guess. Come on. So as long as we're here, let's go and pick up some water so we can turn that into bugs. Go figure how that works. And here that there's at least one freaking thing left in this room. I'm not gonna sure I know exactly where it is. It'll actually be time for me to put down my other earbud. I've been trying out earbuds for instead of my usual headphones for computer this past week or so, but pretty sure that for streaming I'm going to favor headphones in future. I think those give me a better idea of like what it sounds like on stream and outside of it. But yeah, for now, let's just go back up to the top level there. Now that I have both of these here, it should be pretty simple to tell which of these rooms still have some spiders inside. Apparently this one is one of them. I think I know where the one in this room is actually, on top of this stone thing in the middle. I got at least 2 that we counted for. Might be more than one in this room that we haven't heard yet, I guess, based on these sounds. Let's just get all the boxes. Gotta see there's one on top of this big stone slab right here. I'm pretty sure where there could be another one here, though. I'm pretty sure we check the pots, so that we get. Well, that might have been the last one here, actually. Actually makes different sounds depending on whether it's turning around or just creeping from point A to point B, I guess. But here we go, and I guess just one location in this room. There's going to be another one that we get just from putting bugs into the wall. The other one to the right of us right now. Could the other 2 be? I genuinely have no idea at this point. Let's see. This room? Or maybe not. Could it be this room with the big tree? apparently the answer is yes, even though. What the fuck? Are there multiple ones hiding in the grass here before we bring the other ones out of the tree, I guess? Okay, well, where's the one remaining one now? So now we don't hear any sounds in here that aren't coming from those little bugs on the floor, so... Oh, where did the devil the last one be? Check these spots in the past, so that can't be it. We checked like all the boxes here. I'm pretty sure that can't be it either. Oh, what? Okay, that was pretty impressive. We just need to bump into the freaking box here, but we ended up just getting on top of it instead, somehow. So we've just confirmed that no, there are not... there's nothing here. We already checked all 4 of these, and I'm pretty sure that found nothing more. There could be maybe one more room where these things are, these hives. The last one is actually hiding inside one of those. I guess I could see that because I'm feeling that. I guess at this point we're forced to assume that wherever the last spider is, it's not going to make any noise. Could it be that there's some hives in this room that we haven't looked at yet? Well, yes, that's exactly it. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be in here, whether I've noticed that. There's quite a few details that I genuinely just do not remember about this game. Yeah, you can actually hear it now. I know I didn't make any noise before, but... There we go. Curse is now lifted. Might as well pick the last one of these just for measure. Oh, and that one releases the bees, but... That's fine, because we're gonna just be leaving this place now. We did it, we solved the spider house. It just gets us a piece of heart. Well, that's just great, isn't it? Oh boy. But yeah, there you go. We did it to be completed a piece of heart. Hold on. See if I can mark this off. Spider House reward is a piece of heart now. Let's see, there is... oh yeah, we did get a piece of heart from Kome, didn't we? Or no, we got the Gibdo mask. I somehow forgot to check that off, even though I'm sure I had that in mind. Quite clearly right after I got that, but oh well. Shows you how consistent my brain is at retaining information. Let's see, what do we have left in here? We have the... what's in that little chest in the Being Grotto in the Deku Palace, and also saving the imprisoned monkey. We would need some magic beans for both of those, though. We can buy those from the town. I guess we would have to. I can't really think of any other sources where they could be. Let me see, let me start marking off a few things from the Woodfall Temple. Here we go. Stuff that isn't randomized, so all the small keys and all and the boss key and the compass and all that stuff. None of the dungeon items are randomized except for the ones that are to the I don't know, is a bow, the hero's bow randomized? Yeah, it is. It's actually just a red rupee, so... Ooh. And so the items in the dungeons are randomized, and also the boss heart containers are randomized, but everything else is the same. So it shouldn't be too much of an ordeal to get through the dungeons if you already have the items that you know you're going to need. So let's see. I should be wondering what I should do first. I guess I can go get some money real quick so I can get some magic beans. I'm going to carry more than one magic bean because I would need a couple for the things that I want to check on right now. We can technically farm this with this. Oh, if it decides to work, which apparently this time it didn't. Able to red rupee from this every time, but apparently that was not to be this time. If I can pull it off once or twice, and then that should give me enough to... I'll get a couple of magic beans, see if I'm able to carry more than one at a time. Just like I said, it would actually be better if that's the case. But I suppose it is worth looking into. There we go. That should be plenty. Hey, Pro Bro Supreme Commander, what are you doing today? Nice to see you. Welcome to very badly organized Majora's Mask randomizer here. I'm pretty sure it's a place that I want to go into today. They sell these things. Let me see if I go into just then carry one. I think I can carry up to like 5 at a time. Actually, now I have 2 in my inventory, so I should be able to use those. I guess we go off first to the Woodfall Deku Palace. So we go to the Woodfall place to warp. And we go off to the Deku Palace first and check out what's in the grotto, which will probably not be anything important, but I guess it's worth taking a look at, probably. I don't actually know if this is like the better choice for getting close to the Deku Palace or not. Get rid of the series, yeah, mine too, pretty much. That's pretty much why this is one of the few games that I actually feel confident enough to speedrun, so... Not speedrun, that's not at all what I meant to say. To play a randomizer of what I meant. I don't know if there's any game that, like even the ones that I really like, that I would feel confident enough to speedrun just because, I don't know. Like actual speedruns are, and will continue to be a completely alien concept to me. Oh no, oh, that was a sick interception there. Oh, this chest open again. What is in this chest again? Just money? I could use some money, I guess. Nope. There it was. It's gone forever now. And replaced by that art. So the same applies for this edge chest over here, so I'm pretty sure that... Oops, hold on. I'm pretty sure that... off that, so I don't bother to... open that, but... let's see... There's the boat is still here, but we'll take the boat. Or I could speedrun too much pressure. Well, I would say I'm kind of like that, except it's more just... guess we're gonna go this way first. Like maybe for me it wouldn't so much be the pressure, it's just, I don't know, the sense of futility in just playing the exact same thing over and over again. And I say that even though I've come back to this game again and again, and I don't really feel any regret when I do, but I feel like it's a different experience regardless, just because, you know, doing a randomizer, it's not exactly the same game that I'm playing one part of time and again. Which does seem to be my perception of speedruns whenever I do see them. But here we go. So the first thing we're going to find out about is the chest up there. I don't even know, maybe we could get that with without the magic beans. I feel like hookshot will do it, but possible? No, it isn't. It's like the other side. We have to use the magic beans, so I'll try it. Those. Now we don't have any spring water. I don't even know if we can. Sure, it does. Hold on. I don't even know if we'll actually be able to plant those. We should be able to plant those. We've used these in the past. There we go. Okay, so have we been able to get regular spring water from any of the bottle items right now? Let me check. No, I don't think we are actually, so it's a good thing that we have the Song of Storms, because otherwise we could never actually use the magic beans at this point. We don't even know what the regular spring water has been placed or randomized into. Oh hey, we got a piece of heart. It was totally worth it. I'm gonna keep seeing that, or saying that every time we run into one of these, because that's pretty much a encapsulation of my feelings towards it at this point. Okay, at least we can, at least now we can be sure that we know what's in that grotto there. Let's get thrown out immediately. And now let's go and do the puzzle here so we can get the equivalent of the Sonata of Awakening, which should be something else different and maybe actually even important here. All we gotta do is come over here. We don't even need to do this, depending on if you want to use exploits or not, but... well, this is the intended way. Let's have we get up here. And I would just navigate the maze, because yeah, but sure something else you can do, and that's something that I did some time back when I was doing the earlier version of this rando with was considerably less refined. It was just like go on damage boost up to this place from the ledge below. It's good enough. Kill these guys, yeah we can with the bubbles. Technically you could also use like the bow at this point, but I might as well go and do the gesture of staying as vanilla as possible in our progression here. Oh, we actually did like a... We're actually just doing projectile cancelling over and over again. Okay, there we go. That's how about... Sure those guys have worse range than I even remember them having. Okay, guess I wasn't good enough what his was. It's who knows. Christ. I'm sure that if you hold this the bubble charge too long, it just like pops in your face. That's no good. Well, that took a little bit less time than I remember it needing to take, to be perfectly honest with you, but that's fine. And now just sit tight, because we need to wait for this thing to be as high up as possible before we... and use it to propel ourselves up into this final platform here. Just stop for a second at least to let you know that that is in fact the right time. Right, here we are. I'm pretty sure we just have to talk to this guy first as a human. A lot of noise, even though... Whoops. We know that's what we're told, that we don't have to be pretty quiet here. We know how to do something that would be counterintuitive. Oh, there we go. That we get for that is a piece of heart, and then we get thrown out again. But yeah, at least now we know, I guess. Imprison monkey. And we should be able to get the Butler's Ward too after we clear the temple. But we'll get another freaking piece of hearts. Well, we're up to 11 hearts at this point. It's probably good news. Still have no idea what the circumstances are gonna be for me to, I don't know, or what I'm gonna be doing in the end of the game. Probably just gonna try to cheese the final boss with the Fierce Deity's Mask, but who even knows. But let me see. Guess that about takes care of this place. Only the Butler's thing is left, and the Great Fairy, and... oh yeah, the photograph contest, but like I said, I can't do that yet because I don't have the picto box. But yeah, it looks like at this point there's basically nothing else to do other than just go and do the dungeon, so let's quickly warp over there, and we'll have the melody to make it appear, so should be able to just get through it. It's gonna be like our objective for today. It's gonna be a couple hours worth of stream. Well, about 3 I would say, probably. What I'm aiming for, so about halfway there. Maybe a little more, who knows, I don't know. There is something that I'm checking on a little bit later though, as I was telling you earlier, that I don't want to lose track of though, but if we can get through this temple is basically what I'm saying, and do everything that we can within the sword, but this time getting through the temple should be a big thing towards making that happen, I suppose. Yeah, that encapsulates my feelings at making the temple appear. I rarely played this game as a kid because this carry won't creep me out too much. Man, I never actually beat this game as a kid. I pretty much just wasn't able to beat it until I played like the GameCube compilation version. Using the deck of scrub to jump lily pads used to be the hardest shit for me. Well, using the bouncing jump with the lily pads just to get from point A to point B of the swamp, or doing the deck of flower jumps, because it can both be pretty tricky. Like there's a whole minigame based around them that's isn't exactly the easiest thing that I had to do last time. Piece of heart replacement. But yeah, not exactly the simplest thing. And how fitting that we got a Mario 64 sound effect for when the temple appeared, and now I'm pretty sure this is also the a song from Mario 64. Which makes me remember that I was about to say that a lot of the replacement music that we've heard in this randomizer, I'm not sure if like all of it is from different N64 games or if it's just from Mario 64. Well, no, I'm pretty sure that we've heard it from like Star Fox 64 and from stuff from Star Fox 64 and from Mario 64 and probably a few other things that I wasn't able to recognize, but I'm wondering if it's like all from different N64 from different N64 games specifically, or if there's like other sources in there as well. So I can't recognize everything. Like I don't know what the actual theme for the field is. I'll kill these things even though I don't remember if these guys have a fairy or anything like that. So yeah, I'm also aiming to get all the stray fairies in the dungeon just because I'm pretty sure there's nothing else I'm going to be able to get as the reward for getting all the stray fairies. That is also randomized. I'm not getting the little hair effect, so I guess it's fine to land on that room for now. There we go. There's also other shit like some of the enemies in here having, straight fairies. Oh no, hold on. Pretty sure the only way to get over there is gonna be to get a head start. Which apparently is not quite triggering properly there. There we go. That tiny bit. Out of all the dungeons in this game, I'm pretty sure the hardest one to hit like all the stray fairies that are in it is not even the actual final one, but rather the one before that one, the one in the ocean. Boy, well, we do have the bow, but I guess we can pretend we don't, so we can have a slightly more vanilla progression here. Without a key to the Woodfall Temple, we do have to specify that, because ordinarily that wouldn't be specified. But in this version of the randomizer, you can randomize it so that all the freaking keys and everything that's in the dungeons can be found elsewhere. Which sounds terrible because it is, but I'm pretty sure the way that works is if you're trying to collect something randomized, like the gold skulltulus or the keys or something like that. It's not taken away when you reset time. It just stays in your inventory until you're able to solve that. So that's how they managed to get around one of the complications. That's one of the most obvious problems that stems from that stuff being randomized. It's not something that I went for on this scene, though. There we go. Out of the wood, full temple has been acquired, so... Pretty much all of the stuff in the dungeons and in the spider houses is going to be completely vanilla, with a couple exceptions. Those exceptions pretty much being the dungeon items and the thing that we get at the end of the dungeon, except of the heart container, because those are also randomized. Oh no. The angle worked against me there. Let's see about this place. I'm pretty sure there's a fairy underneath this thing. This looks pretty light. That's the first thing that I think of when I see a big stone slab. I forgot about that. It's actually like the physics for those stone slabs are changed so that they move a lot faster when you do try to move them. I'm pretty sure that we saw that in effect at the Pirate's Fortress. Let's see, how do we actually... that dude, that thing down there? I guess it's not from this angle necessarily. I don't remember if I'm pretty sure it's with an arrow, but I don't remember if the arrows can go through the bars here, or if I have to... something else. I can try shooting an arrow from here and just see what happens. I do have a few of these. Nope, it doesn't really go through the bars, so... How can we do this? Oh no. Not this way, evidently. I guess we can just walk in there with the Sora mask and just tag the damage, but... Seems like a pretty unrefined way of going about it, so I'll try not to resort to that. Yep. Doesn't really help either that control, like the stick controls are even better than usual in beans with which I'm playing this. There we go. Oh shoot. Well, that wasn't quite what I meant to do. And now I just have to wait for it to come to me somehow. I just through the floor. It's weird. Can't tell if it works. Well, yeah, I suppose there is one way of looking at it. And something kind of weird is that because of the seed, I started pretty much with 0, with no hearts except for 1 heart, which is just you might expect even less than you have ordinarily. But one of the very first items that was available to me is the double health thing that you get from one of the great fairies, the extra defense boon that you get. See, there's supposed to be one more fairy in this room. I don't know where it could be. Definitely not this thing. Oh, that's bad news. I'm just gonna try to swat it with her sword. There we go. What we have to do here is carry the fire from the far end of this room down to the door down below. Okay, there we go. So we can get to a different room. I guess we will, but... Actually, where is the fire? Oh, never mind. We have to carry it from down below here to up to the other place. I had that backwards. So let's go ahead and get the thing out. Also gonna be harassed by these moths as we try to do that though, so let's preemptively prepare the path here. These moths, which for some reason are in fact able to hurt you if you stick around too long. There we go. Let's just get into this room because oh shoot, we still have the freaking thing to stick out. Ooh, saved it right at the last second. And transform just in time to be able to, oh no. Come on. To be able to be knocked back like that. Oh wait, what's this mode here? What one of the... oh, that's global. For some reason I thought that was like one of the Shulko type modes. Randomize, how does it actually work? There must be some parameters. Well, yeah, there's in this part of the game that I'm doing right now, the dungeon is for the most part not actually randomized. Because of the settings that I put it, but talk about parameters, and this version does actually have considerably more of those parameters than a couple of other versions of this very same randomizer that I've done here in the past. Okay, let's see. I just have to jump across and not fall, and well, what do you know, after I said that. But yeah, the current version has, you know, actual logic options, which are just for basically help you ensure that you can get through pretty much the entirety of the game without needing to resort to glitches or anything like that. It's nice for people like me who don't ordinarily want to try and learn stuff like that just to get through a game. Well, the old version didn't have that, so I actually had to learn a couple of glitches for this game just to be able to get through that version. Well, glitches and stuff that isn't necessarily glitches, but exploits, I guess, like the gore damage boost, which is just doing what I about. This is what I'm gonna have out. We have a lot of evil here, because we got like these little black suit spirits. I'm sure that the easy way to kill these dudes is just to put on the Goron mask and slam down. I mean, for this game, typically what randomization means is that, I don't know, stuff like items you can get from quests and items that you can get from dungeons, and I don't know, stuff that you can get in chests, such as this one. It's just replaced by different stuff. But you can pretty much pick in the current version, you can pick a certain number of options to basically define which of these things in the game you want to bother keeping track of and which ones you want to remain the same, and you can go for quite a few things being different, honestly, like that I didn't even feel were absolutely necessary, like the chests in the field. Which is one of the few aspects of this game that I don't have completely memorized. But thankfully there are like actual references that I can use for those to keep track of them. But like I said, this part of the game, the dungeon is pretty much 99% the same, so that doesn't necessarily apply here. There's one thing that you could say that is relevant for the dungeon though, is that I'm pretty sure I didn't want to come here until I had a few items that pretty much ensured that I was going to be able to get through it. I had all those items before I actually went inside. And I did manage to get them, so... Oh, there we go. Oh no. Oh, that was oddly well positioned inconvenience for me, and I fell, which, yeah, I'm pretty sure she's gonna put me all the way back here. Or just all the way back here, actually. Might not be that bad. I'd have to redo this whole room, I just have to walk through it again. I'm pretty sure the door is still gonna be open. Okay, here we go. Alright, attempt number 2. Oof, okay. How far in first this platform gonna go? Apparently the answer is quite far. Okay, let's see if we can get into the next one here without being... Oop, we can't. Being hassled by the dudes. Let's see. Since they're apparently coming down here, let's well see if we can destroy them. What with this? Why do I have this out? Hold on. I'll try to hit them with my sword. There we go. Should be significantly simpler now. Where's that platform going? Hold on. I didn't realize it went like along 2 axes instead of just 1. It's a little weird. Yeah, but oh well, it doesn't matter. It's sort of close enough. I'm pretty sure that there's a few things we can do in here to like unlock some shortcuts even without having to go through all these rooms. What I'm doing right now is pretty much just the vanilla progression. But have we actually managed to get a shortcut to get back up here in case we fall? We pretty much got that covered for now. So, but I'm pretty sure what we're expected to do here is... Okay, never mind, something that ordinarily we wouldn't be able to do yet. We are able to do it now, but let's pretend that we're not. We can do the normal intended progression here. And fight to do that in this room. Sure. We get slightly higher... Oh, we just managed to hit it with a jump attack from that sword, because we're not supposed to be able to have that yet, I guess. It's a higher grade boss theme than he ordinarily would have. There we go. Pretty sure I spoiled myself to this, but this would be the chest where we get the bow. That's one of the like 2 pretty much things that's randomized in this dungeon. See what happens, we've had the bow for a while, so let's try to equip that. We can use the bow to try to hit this thing down here if we can actually line it up right, and also hit this thing, which actually can line up right. I don't quite remember exactly what we have to do here, but let's see. Like in what order, I mean. That platform down there, but I want to get to it. I want to have a pretty search chance. I want to go back and shoot the, like light up the spinning platform that's in the center of the entrance, not this one. That's something else we can do now. I don't remember which of these things is going to be optional and which one isn't. Maybe neither of them is. But still there has to be... Oh, we get the other mini boss already. Hold on. Oh, this guy. Should be pretty easy. With our... Oh boy. I can't believe that. What if I got... If I can get a work where I got randomized into the fucking Great Fairy path. There we go. Oh wait, I need to... Oh, we can only hurt it with the arrow now. This might take a little bit longer now. Oh well. We can't hurt it even when it's going back to the turtle there. A little strange. Even if I honestly can't remember if that was the case or not in vanilla. But it only takes 3 regular arrows to actually take it down at that point, so it really doesn't matter. Now it becomes a regular frog. Shh. Based on the hint that we got from that gossip stone, it might actually be we might actually need to complete the friggin' frog choir things just only so that we can friggin' get the Anjoan Cafe side quest complete. Well, I guess that could be worse, so I'm gonna have to keep in mind that I guess this door that we reach by the platform going up and down is the one that has the gecko on the other side, so I guess if we go back later to this temple, we can easily just beeline it to this particular door and just kill the frog, so we can kill the gecko so we can reveal the frog, that's what I say. Let's see, I guess what we're supposed to do is end this shit up just right so that it gets lit on fire. And then what? Don't quite remember the next part. Well, there's a bubble, I guess we can just reveal this guy. We can try and light that thing on fire too, but I don't know, shall we try to get on the nav bucket? These controls are too easy for me right now to try and handle. Guess we can try to light that thing on fire too, setting it up at that flame. And to light up the correct freaking altitude, that is part of the puzzle here. Oh, but I guess that was good enough. I'm pretty sure that this you can use this flower to get on that switch that's on that very same platform, but I don't remember what the switch does at all. I never can, even though it's one of those things that I never fail to notice whenever I'm running this dungeon. Okay, I'm fairly certain that what's inside that chest is like another stray fairy, so go ahead and confirm it. There we go, 11th one, so I might basically be one room away, goddammit. Might basically be one room away from being able to beat the dungeon now and get all the stray fairies as well. Very much mistaken. What does it look like behind this door? Yeah, I think there's like actual 4 stray fairies in this room. I can just feel that's in flames right now from here. Maybe. Maybe not. There we go. I guess we're just gonna wait for that one to come here. Actually, make contact with us. Please. There we go. I don't know, are there 4 of them here? I hope there are, otherwise I'm gonna need to backtrack, which I'm gonna be too excited about. Okay, yeah, there's one here, you can see the 2 remaining ones. And there's the final one over there, so it's just a matter of getting through this room and meeting the boss. And we should be able to call that a day. See that we're pretty much done with the swamp, at least short of a couple of things, like being able to sell the mushroom to Kotake, which apparently is something else that we need to figure out how to do. There we go. Take them to the fellow fairies of the same color. I guess that's how that gets written out. Oh no. Well, that means we're still here. How do we actually get to that platform though? We need to just like jump through. In human form, yeah, I guess that's how that works. So we need to come here. Do we need to come here, or do we need to like shoot the... Yeah, but there's a switch on the other side that I get the feeling we had to switch... had to get from the upper platform. Might be able to get back onto the upper platform, yeah, from... by using the flower here. Oh wait, let's try and kill this guy first, which apparently doesn't work at all. Right. There we go. I can literally just spin in place and do a deco attack that way and wait for that guy to come to us. Okay, so I guess what we do is we stand right here and then we shoot the switch that's over there. And try to shoot the firefly or dragonfly too. But that would be just a little bit harder. Just gotta try to hit the switch, that'll be good enough. That'll be enough of an ordeal in and of itself. So it would seem. Freaking hold on a second. I guess it's extremely counterintuitive, but apparently when I tilt the stick very gently, it goes in the opposite direction of how it's supposed to tilt. So. I can pretend like this doesn't have the inverted, y-axis stuff. Oh, this guy's gotta get in my way. Hold on. There we go. And now all we gotta do is kill the boss. Should be pretty easy considering what we have in our possession. Let's actually go begin a little bit wilder than usual in this run and try and get him with a Great Fairy Sword. Should be pretty easy. We're gonna have it out for this cutscene. It's ridiculous oversized sword. Which nevertheless I think is pretty much the strongest attack you can use. Oh no, what is this? Music. See, I don't recognize this music at all. I'm pretty sure the only hint that you get is if you get close to him, you will be eaten. Doesn't exactly help, because I'm pretty sure what you're supposed to do here is just like... Okay, maybe we want to attack him with it. Oh, I guess we will, we're right. Gotta wait for him to like try and land us and just miss miserably, and that's our opening to attack, I guess. Oh, there we go. I'm actually surprised that this hasn't done like more damage yet. See, as if I knew how much damage he's done with. I'm sure a big part of this battle is okay. There we go. Just took like 4 hits. He's just being able to use your shield to not just take massive damage. Oh boy. That music is a bit preemptive considering that. I'm pretty sure this is the little fanfare that plays in the ending cutscene of the game before the rest of the ending plays out, but I guess we can listen to it for just a little more. There we go. So what is that? It's clearly not at all what remains, and yeah, I guess we got the... Did we get another actual bottle? Yeah, we got another actual bottle with red potion, so now we have 2 bottles, and that's what we got instead of the heart container, and instead of it all what remains we get what? A bottle of 10 arrows, so that's nice. Yeah, that's not what we got, but we might actually get something else now, since we're... Ordinarily we would get the Oath to Order from this scene here. That's a song, but I guess that's not what we're getting this time. See a bottle with red potion, and I don't know what all what remains. I guess that's not randomized. It's a matter of getting all these cutscenes, that's the important bit. You can also try to figure out what's in the what bottle rewards we get from trying to get the odd mushrooms in And what's a mystery, and also what we get for trying to bottle the Deku Princess. Those should be things we can figure out at this point. It seems to be saying something there. Melody, but I guess at this point the cutscene gets interrupted because we're not necessarily gonna get that melody from the thing. Oh god. And here's another Mario 64 song. Is this gonna be associated with all the temples? Because I'm pretty sure that this couple of melodies show up in more than one of these cutscenes to signify like the temple appearing or the means of entering the temple being revealed, and then a lot of things going back to normal after being in the temple for the first time. More people Tile talked about. I don't know, did we get an actual item from the blue warp, or did we get something? Did not get anything, I guess. I helped the princess, even though we didn't actually save the princess yet. There she is. I guess we didn't actually get anything from that. That's weird. Because nothing looks different here that I can notice. I mean, I thought that was the thing that was marked on the HTML tracker here as blue light warp right at the beginning. Boss blue warp. 10 arrows. Okay, I guess that's what we get instead of the 10 arrows is what we're supposed to get instead of the Song of the Oath to Order. So do we have it always remains now? Yeah, I guess we did get that after all. Oh yeah, we do have to, yes, we actually do have to beat all the bosses in order to actually make it into the moon. We are gonna have to do that. Okay, let's free the princess. Let's see what happens when we put her in a bottle. Alright, here we go, yeah. Time to learn one of the most important variables in this or any possible game. Okay, so the princess turns into a fish. So if you want a fish, oh god, we need to rescue the princess. That's gonna be a problem. It might not be. Hold on, actually. Why did the ocarina sound like the Deku pipes there? Oh well. Well, there is one thing that we have to, right, hold on, don't do that yet. Let's get out this way first. Oh shit, it's gonna be the second day. I don't know why the ocarina sounds like a Deku pipes all of a sudden, but... well, there is one important thing that I can think of that we need to do with the fish, and that's come over here and... feed the fish in the aquarium and get a piece of heart that way. Hold on. So we can mark this off now, though. The bottle that princess turns into a fish, which is kind of inconvenient because that means that we're gonna have to go and beat the dungeon whenever we want a fish. But like I said, I'm not even really sure if we're gonna need a fish for anything other than this. I guess we might need some fish for the beneath the wall thing in the Canyon, but we'll see. I also do not know what this music is. There we go, it's just like pre-done so that really need to feed the one fish. Oh boy. Wasn't even worth it. That was a freaking blue rupee. Oh well. Guess we can mark that off now. In great way. That was totally something that was worth getting. Labfish just gave me... God. We can also try to figure out what the... I don't know, could we complete the spider house in the ocean? I don't think we could. Or no, I think we could, but I don't really want to because... if we did that, then we wouldn't actually be able to... to do what? Hold on. If we did that now, we wouldn't be able to get everything from in there because we don't have the captain's hat. That's what I want to say. But well, you know me, I need a minute to articulate things. Something that I will try to do actually is try to get some... What am I doing? I don't want this, I want to bury, that's right, I forgot how this worked already. I'm gonna walk to the mountains and I'm gonna try to go to the place that has hot spring water. Indeed. There's the grotto, the twin islands, so that I can... get the actual Deku Princess in a bottle, and now that we've beaten the dungeon, we should be able to bring it back to the... bring her back to the palace and get another reward from there. Well, let's just come over here. Let's have a ping. Well, I mean, that would probably be my face if somebody put me in a bottle and I suddenly became a fish, just because of, you know, that's what the universe decided was gonna happen that particular time. Somebody's changed all the rules. Well, that was an interesting lineup. Here we go. If we try to bottle actual hot spring water, that's how we get the actual Deku Princess to accompany us. So now we should be able to go to the swamp. We should be able to just swim to the palace without a lot of trouble. Without even needing to spawn in Woodfall and actually... I don't know, just the lily pads, but we do need to go back to Woodfall now that I think about it. There's one thing that I didn't actually check on yet that I really forgot about, which was whatever reward we get for giving all the stray fairies to the Great Fairy in the cave. We'll be checking that out in a minute, but for now we'll bring the princess here, I guess, and also do the butler mission. I think we should be able to get something else from that too, but who knows what that'll be. Also, hey Redbear, how's it going? Welcome into me managing to clear one of the areas, I guess, in this game. Potentially. Anything that's important, or everything. Oh, here we go. Should be able to just... oh, are you waiting? Well, I'm waiting because... well, I guess we need to actually step up on that... this thing here. Easier. There we go. And there we go. We get anything from this cutscene itself, it's just pretty much just doing this because this opens up the butler minigame. And the shrine that will be to the right, so just direct you to go there. Oh no, wait. I'm pretty sure that at this point you're not locked out of the palace anymore, or at least not of going into this area right at the entrance, so I don't even have to worry about being in Deku form to be able to stay in here, so speaking of lily pad jumping, time for some of that just to be able to get over here. Sure that if you try to come here before you beat the dungeon, there's sort of like a freaking a big octo in way, so you can even get in here. Oh yeah, time to race. I don't remember exactly how this is laid out, but hopefully it's not like big of a massive headache as it could be. What am I doing? Using the D-pad instead of the C-stick, that's what I'm doing. C buttons. Notch, notch. That is typical. Oh well. Actually be more difficult with the bunny hood because you jump farther, so it's easier to fall off here. Okay, let's try that one more time. Is she gonna let me do it even if I talk to him and not in Deku form? Yes. Alright, I guess that's not actually a problem. Let's keep going left. Okay, so where precisely is this room where it's just like a straight jump where it's easy to fall off into the water? Here? Is it here? Here it is. And this time I didn't mess up. Okay, don't take this off yet. Take it off when we get to this place, because take these jumps with the intended precision. I guess the camera kind of spins too to let me line that up, but doesn't really do that if you're doing it with the body hood on, which is weird. Christ. Not shouldn't be as difficult to get through this room, I think, as some of the other ones. There's plenty of room for error here, especially if you have the bunny hood. And use it very judiciously. Boy, this part though, it's kind of dickish. And here comes this fucking... Now this is perfectly normal. Reasonable. Okay, there we go. Wasn't sure if that was going to be right at the end, but I guess it was. So what do we get instead of the Mask of Sense? Oh, it's a heart container, so there we go. So we actually found all 4 of the heart containers that ordinarily would have been in the boss rooms after beating the bosses, but I guess we just have a lot more health now. And yeah, that's a deep lore of this game. But Like the broken tree that you see at the very beginning of the game, that it's pretty much used to make the Deku Mask and turn Link into a Deku Scrub is actually the Deku Butler's son, which pretty much gets confirmed in the credits for this. But apparently, I don't know, that's one of the more obscure parts of the lore here, even though they kind of make it obvious with references in that scene. What do we do now? Oh yeah, we're supposed to warp to so we can find out what the Great Fairy reward will be for collecting all the stray fairies. That's something we can't possibly forget about. What would be left in the swamp after we do that, Lucas? I don't think that's like 100% of everything in the swamp. Yeah, there's selling a mushroom to Kotake, which might just be like money, I don't know. It ordinarily would be like a blue potion, I think. But maybe not. I don't remember. I think that the deal is that if you try to buy a blue potion from her in the normal game, then she just says that she's out of stock or something. And the way for her to sell you blue potions is if you bring her one of those mushrooms. So, let's see what we get here. We get a map of Great Bay. Oh, isn't that nice? Probably something that we'll get any use out of, but that's pretty much it. So the other thing we're missing is the mushroom thing, which we can't get in this cycle anymore, I don't think, because can't even get into the shop and meet with Kotake on the second day, I think. And the other stuff is stuff that requires a big toe box, so yeah, I guess we're pretty much done with the swamp for now. What else can we do in this period of time? Oh shit, actually. Just realize how much time that took. Hold on a second. There is one more thing I can, and I guess there is one more thing that I should do, but there's gonna be something on it. How much time? That I don't want to be in about an hour that I don't want to wait for, so there's one more thing that I'll try to do currently, and that's basically go and well, there we go. Great Bay actually shows up on the map now, but what to do? I guess we're gonna turn back time. Get into Romani Ranch and try to do the Romani Ranch questline, which is defend the ranch and go deliver the milk. Let me scroll down the this thing, the HTML tracker, real quick to confirm. What I'm missing from here that I can get the Aliens Defense thing, I can get the Crimea Defense thing, and I can also get items from the cows, which I forgot about in the Romani game, which is... yeah, we can't get the cow number 3 because that's not a factor in this run, because it's supposed to be edgeless, so... we do need to turn back time, because we do need it to be the first day again, so I guess we're gonna do that. Still not sure why the freaking normal ocarina sound was replaced by the Echo Pipes sound, but it's not like a big deal breaker there. Yeah, it'll be reset when we return to the first day. I guess we'll see. But yeah, there's like how many things according to the tracker here in HTML? There's basically 5 things we should be able to get, which would ordinarily be 2 things of regular milk, Epona's song, I guess a piece of heart that we get from defending the ranch, and Romani's mask, which would be from delivering the milk. There was 5 things. Quickest way to the mountains. Yeah, we get that message just because we've to get through to complete the first dungeon. So the game is fooled into thinking that we're doing any kind of regular progression when we're not. Don't even have the freaking Bomber's Notebook yet. I have no idea if we'll ever get that at this point. Let's see here. collect the powder keg from the tree over here. So we're gonna need that to get into the ranch. But, oh Jesus Christ, never shot the tree. I get the feeling that I did the exact same thing before and I just forgot about it, but I think that probably didn't happen before, is the camera suddenly changing to deny me the ability to jump straight to her. Let's not even friggin' try to do the roll jumps here. It's clearly an effort that is not worth it. I guess if you grab some money, there's something else we could do, and that's, you know what, let's do that, I say, even though I just realized that. But let's say I'm gonna buy something from Tingle there and use that in the kind of canyon in a place that we should be able to get to soon, but I realized that the Tingle that we would be able to buy that from isn't actually in that area, the one in the town. We'll be able to buy it from him in the road to the swamp. Either in the road to the swamp or in the Twin Islands in the mountains. Out here. Oh well. We're gonna need to get some arrows here, I guess, so let's break some grass. Need to get some arrows to there we go, to walk the thing. Not having to wait. There we go. I thought I could break it. Well, apparently you can, but not quickly enough. I guess we didn't even need to do that quickly. Yeah, as long as it's open to traffic, it's fine. Oh. $10 you're getting paid for that. And here we go. We probably are gonna have to do the practice thing here just so we get a bonus song. That would be the first thing we get. But actually, before we already have a bonus song, so we get something different if we do complete the training there. So let's see, where are the cows? Are they supposed to be here? Are they gonna be here at night? Oh well. Does the cuckoo have any different sound effects? I don't remember. Well, I guess it doesn't. It sounds the same. But let's see. I'll try and see what happens. I was given the same name as the ranch. What's your name? Oh, there we go. That's a nice name, but look at your green clothes. Tonight they are coming, so what is their theme replaced by? Because their theme plays when we get like a normal battle in the field. Apparently their theme is gonna be a lot more dramatic this time around. It's definitely not from this game. Might be from Star Fox or something, I really wouldn't know. Alright. I guess we have to just do this in under 2 minutes. Hopefully that's it, because Jesus Christ. Apparently she lets you do this, as I learned recently, she lets you do this even on the third day if after she's traumatized if you don't help her. But I guess she only lets you do that if you talk to her at that point. We already have the horse and the arrows, so it's a bit of a moot point. Just if you really want to practice and break that record at the at that point in time, which I don't know why you would. Right, where's the remaining two? Might actually be... The 1 minute thing might actually be doable. They're over there. There we go. It wasn't nearly as painful as when I did that, whenever I did that last. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's how we get the captain's hat. There we go. Those of 100 soldiers swear allegiance to the symbol of authority. Yeah, we got it, so... I have to speed up time, but... to figure out where the cows are. Apparently they're not in the barn right now. That means they're like outside. They're out here. Or is it that they only show up in the barn after sundown, I guess. Well, let's see what this stone says. A fisherman possesses a property deal. Oh boy, so... we get one of the other... or the cows. Okay. Take a sci-fi. Let's see... guess the fisherman in the Great Bay Coast should be able to give me one of the... well, I don't know, can we like trigger the cows responding to the song when they're outside, or do they have to be in the indoors area? Because the fisherman in the Great Bay area is gonna have the... one of the title deeds, that's what I was trying to say. It can't be the town title deed or the ocean one, because I don't know where those are. So I guess it has to be the one from the mountains, so that's the guy in the Great Bay. So as the main room. Okay, so let's make it nighttime. Which means the cow should be in here. Here we go. Okay, that was that obnoxious honk again. Should be able to get some items from these cows though, I thought. Let's see. While this is going on, let me mark the captain's hat and money's reward here. Money's game. Yeah, there we go. What is this one? Give me. Gives me a piece of heart. Apparently you can get one of the other cows to give us something with water song, but not the third one. We'll do it here. Okay, yeah, I guess that's how it works. That's how we get the fire arrow. Oh, there you go. We got the fire arrow and the piece of heart, which means that we should now be clear to complete the second dungeon. The what's it called? The one in Snowhead. So I guess all we're missing is the alien defense, so we're gonna have to wait a minute here. We did it. We fired the fire arrow. So now we're just missing the ice arrow, so we can complete the other temple. The what's it called? The one in Great Bay, and then I think we could actually do the one in Stone Tower right now if we can get there, because we need the mirror shield which we have, and we need the light arrow which we have, and we need the Elegy of Emptiness which we have. I think that's pretty much everything we need that dungeon, so actually quite a bit of things we can get done. A few things. But for now, I think I'm just gonna like do the, you know, this whole romantic questline and probably leave it at that for now. Let's see. Stuff in the town. Did anything else open up? Like, what am I missing at this point? I forgot already in the town. Manjo and Cafe and the inn guest room chest. That's pretty much it. And the all-night mask, which is Something you can't get until you get the giant wallet, which I can't, so I don't have, I mean. Terminator Field, all I'm missing is Camaro, which I need the Song of Healing to get whatever that guy has, which I don't know where it is, so... I don't know, what shall I aim for after this? Is there anything in the mountains that doesn't involve going into that dungeon that I could get right now? Powder Keg Challenge. Oh yeah, I guess I can do that now since I have the, what's it called? The fire arrow. Maybe I'll do it tonight even. So something I can get from the pillar on the path to Snowhead, which yeah, I guess I can. Can't get that now that I have the Scarecrow song. Let's see. Let's check off a bunch of the things that shouldn't be randomized in the Snowhead Temple. The Stray Fairies, and the compass, and the keys, and the boss key, and the map. None of these things should be randomized. And none of them are. But yeah, there's like the pillar to Snowhead and the... what's it called? The powder keg test to do. What about Great Bay? Well, I guess in Great Bay I need to... I'd like to wait until I have a few more bottles, but I do need to rescue the Sora eggs from the fortress, which should be a lot easier now that I have the hookshot as well. But beyond that, there is what? Oh yeah, the stuff in the ocean spider house, which, like I said, I wanna... Well, I have the captain's hat now, I just got it, so I could do that now. I guess there's a few other things we can focus on before we do any more of the dungeons for when I come back to this game. Stage lights, what? Oh, you get a blue rupee for doing something in the... I guess you need the fire arrow to do that in Sora Hall. Light the stage lights and get blue rupee for doing that, which is not randomized. What else? Interior. Okay, so there's some chests left in the Pirate's Fortress. I guess there's that too. Chest that we can get to before because we didn't actually have the hookshot. And also the stuff in Pinnacle Rock, which I don't know where the seahorse is actually, so can't get that. Let's see. What about a Canyon? I don't think I've even seen this. Oh yeah, there's the Invisible Soldier. I can give him a red potion and get something. And apparently a chest up in a pillar, yes, so there's... I guess whenever I come back to the game I will continue to avoid the dungeons, just because there's so many other things that I can... get without going into them. I'm gonna need, like... 4 more hearts before I can do all the things in the secret shrine, though. That's like one thing that I'm missing. But yeah, any minute now. We've been standing here for about 6 hours, and the evil will still take their time to show up. How will you progress without dungeons? Well, I will have to do the dungeons eventually, but I'm trying to like get as many items as I possibly can find before I actually go into them. Or I mean, at least enough items that I can be sure that I'll be able to get everything. Like, pretty sure at this point I could do like Snowhead at least, because what do you need for Snowhead? You need the Yarn Mask, you need the fire arrows, you need the Lens of Truth if you want all the fairies, and you need the Great Fairy Mask, which I already have if you want the fairies easier. Right, I think in just a minute here the thing is gonna happen. But other than that, you need much actually, so I'm not sure we could do Snowhead right now, and that'd be a problem, yep. And now these guys are here, and their theme is much more dramatic than actually is. Wait, what? How's that green arrow there? just have to hold them off for like 2 hours or 3 hours until it's like 5:30, and that'll be... oh no, it's... the freaking weird Biz Hawk controls from the control stick are really gonna work against me here, but... oh no. We're doing our best. Well, these guys want to drop more arrows, so... I think something we could do, I guess, to make this a little bit easier is to slow down time, but as you might expect, that does slow them down, but it also means that you have to hold them off for longer. Curl this guy. That's controls. The freaking Y-axis of the stick changes depending on how much force you're applying. I don't seem to do that. Who knows? I certainly don't. I don't want it to, but I guess that's how it works. Pretty sure it... oh fuck. That guy almost made it there. Pretty sure it doesn't do that on, you know, on actual N64, but... probably won't be able to confirm that until later. Okay, so we're almost done here. Just need clock to hit 5:30, I think, and then or not, never mind. Oh god. And apparently the Victory Fanfare here is replaced by the freaking Song of Soaring. There we go. Sure that we ordinarily would get a bottle, or at least some milk from that, but now we just get money. Okay, so that's worthless. Not that it matters, so... I guess something we could do now is... hold on. Let's go and do the powder keg test, because we have to come back here and basically... agree to protect the milk in the evening, but I guess we have some time to do that in the middle of then now. So the alien's defense thing was a silver rupee, which was pretty underwhelming for that side quest. Okay, let's go to the mountain village, I guess, and then we'll pour back here. At least the milk defense thing is gonna be trivial at this point, because we do have the circus leader's mask, which means that that little minigame is literally impossible to lose. Which is actually kind of weird, because ordinarily you would get the circus leader's mask as a reward for having a questline that you can only do after you get a reward from that minigame, so the only use that it would have in that case would be if you decide to redo it for some reason. What did I want to do here? Oh yeah, the test. I'm pretty sure in the 3DS version they actually changed it so that you get it earlier, and then if you know what it's for, you actually get to use it for that. And there we go, in here. And talk to this big boy and he'll give us the butter cake. So let's see what our reward is going to be. If you can destroy the boulder that blocks the entrance to the Goron racetrack near here using the powder keg, then I'll prove you to carry them. I don't remember how hard this actually is, but yeah. There's a sign near the racetrack, so you have to do this pretty precisely from what I remember. There's not a lot of room for error here. Come on. Please, just do this. And I would usually have to climb up and go around without getting hit by anything. I'm pretty sure that if you do get hit, it just makes you drop this thing, but it can actually screw you over considering the geography of this place. Oh, there we go. He fell off. But he can also climb back up the slopes on those islands like it's nothing, so... Not a big setback for that guy. Yeah, we're almost there. Okay, I'm pretty sure we made it. I'm pretty sure we are supposed to... it would be possible for us to just break that with an arrow now. Blow it up with an arrow, but... I'm not sure if that actually invalidates your test here, so we'll... just gotta wait since it's about to blow up anyway. There we go. Pretty sure the racetrack itself is not actually open right now because we haven't beaten the dungeon, so not much of a point to coming in here yet. We can actually one-shot those guys with the Goron punch. There we go. Alright, here we go. It's totally me, the same guy. Need to see what I did. Right, take this as my apology. It's another piece of heart, wouldn't you know it? We have 2 more, and apparently we collected 3, so I probably forgot to mark one of those. A total of 31, right, so it's 31. I guess minus 3 is 28 divided by 4, that's 7, yeah. 7 hearts from those, and then 4 from the heart containers. It's 11, so we've gotten 31 so far. But I guess we better go ahead and mark that. We've done the powder keg challenge, and we got a piece of heart for it in this timeline. And now we go back to the ranch so that we can complete the other thing and... and we usually call it a day for now. I don't know why I thought of doing this, since I'm pretty sure that the span that the Razor Sword has isn't really that great. Maybe the one that the Gilded Sword has when we eventually switch to that. But I guess for now, if I want the money from breaking all those grass clumps at once, I would just should just use the Great Fairy Sword instead. It has the biggest span of all the swords independently, so we already did the thing. town. At 6 o'clock, so... I have to take her up on that offer, but we're also going to be wearing this ugly mask while we do that. It's the timing in which we do so. Let's go ahead and speed up time until it's 6 o'clock. She should be right here. Here we go. Let's get a ride in. It's cozy, emotional teen, I guess, with the creepy mask, which you pretty much have to put it on before you talk to her, because that's your only chance to actually take advantage of it. Oh god, oh, this is dissonant. This is supposed to be a lot more, I don't know, subdued music, but instead it was replaced by the actual minigame music from this. Using it to stop the ghosts, yeah, the ghosts which are pretty sure they're referred to as being like the Garo in both that piece of dialogue and like a couple of other ones from Anna Canyon, but everyone just calls them aliens because that's what they feel like. I'm pretty sure that the actual monsters that you fight in, you know, the ranch defense are modeled after an actual cryptid called the Flatwoods monster. I don't remember exactly what the story behind that one's supposed to be, but I'm pretty sure that it would line up more with aliens than ghosts, but who knows. Don't make games like they used to. Well, I certainly haven't seen a game that's quite like this one. But I mean, if you look at the games that are being made now, sometimes they try to make games like they used to some degrees, like the Gloomwood Devil. Which is something that I've been talking about on my Discord recently, is it's trying quite a bit to be like the classic Thief games in a lot of aspects. Oh. Hold on, I need to actually cursor here. Oh, and this Dangerous Chase theme is placed by the freaking Swordsman School theme, so yeah. At this point, ordinarily, you would actually have to, you know, actually do this properly and try and fend off these guys before they break all the milk bottles, but because I'm wearing the mask that I'm wearing, they literally just won't do anything. We can just sit back and just watch them leisurely right behind us with the... Not even got like the sad eyes, I just realized that. Those are actually the freaking Gorman brothers wearing the Garo mask, but if you talk to them during the daytime while wearing the circus leader's mask, they do the same sad eyes, because it's like, I can't believe you're showing us the face of our brother, because I don't know, we know about what he's up to is depressing or something. They just don't bother to do anything. There you go. Guess that song does indicate a transition from one area to another, so it's not entirely off the mark there. So. We got a bottle of Chateau Romani. Throw it around, etc. So hold on a second, was that an actual bottle that we got, or is it just like content that we are supposed to throw in a different bottle? Because if it's just the content, then that's kind of... Okay, no, it is an actual bottle. Okay, so... We managed to get 3 bottles so far, which is pretty good. Actually, probably wait a little bit longer before we go back to the Pirate's Fortress, but that probably will be one of the things that we will do when I eventually come back to this game. By eventually, I mean in probably about a couple days, but let me see. Let me just mark off these things. Where would this be? This would be, I guess we're gonna not mark the boss key here, the other dungeon, because it marks a couple of other things as gettable that I haven't, I can't actually get yet because I haven't beaten the dungeon, but there we go. Cremia is bottled with Chateau Romani, so we have 3 bottles now. It's good news. And 31 pieces of heart, right, because we got another one from the thing. We also completed the Swamp Spider House, so I guess I should just mark this as complete, the green tokens. But sure, the blue ones are for the Ocean Spider House. Still don't have any better bomb bags, we don't have the pigtail box, and we don't really have any of the items for the Angela Cafe quest. Well, we have the express mail to Mama at our disposal, but we've already used that up. We need to get the other thing that goes in that inventory slot, which is the room key. Which we haven't managed to find yet, so that's unfortunate, but... Well, I don't know, is there anything else that I would want to, I would be able to get quickly in this release cycle that I might want to get? Maybe. Let's see. I'll actually try to get the Snowhead pillar piece of heart and see what's replaced that. So I can have that one thing out of the way. I think I'll do that. That'll be the actual last thing that I do tonight. To get that, we do need to get the Scarecrow song, so we need to get into this place, which we should be able to get in just a minute, yeah. Can't actually get in there at 9 PM, between 9 and 10, but once that time passes, then you can actually come here. Yeah, here we go. So there we go. We've taught our song to the Scarecrow, so what to do is, well, we should probably go outside first. Doesn't work with the Radiant Wars. The Scarecrow song, do we need anything else? Let me check. I should sort of like have a reference back here. Like the heartbeats is just like one of those that's basically only vaguely aware of. Let me check. Would be in the mountains. Snowhead. Okay, so we need the hookshot and the Scarecrow song. Let's see, on the road, blah blah blah. Lands of Truth, some invisible ice blocks here. Defeat the ice keys and... Okay. So it's just a matter of like getting over to the end platform there. So we need to go here to Snowhead. I think it should be easier to like go into the actual owl that's in front of the temple entrance. And check here. I mean, we could use the Chateau Romani to like give ourselves. Come on. If we can select it, we might as well do it now. To give ourselves infinite magic for the duration of this, I guess the bar goes from blue to pink. And what do we need? We need the Lens of Truth to figure out where the invisible platforms are. Side of this, they are indeed on the other side of this. Oh goody. Oh. Okay, let's take a step back and then better build up enough speed to start the barn roll. Try to go across this one gap. There we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sure hope I don't get knocked off by the keys like it says. Looks like a regular piece of heart too, so... feeling it won't actually... Oh, hold on. Let's try it here. And now we should just be able to hook shot over there. And yeah, if it shows up as a piece of heart in the world, it's probably an actual piece of heart. So I guess we get a 13th heart container, I guess. But I guess we might as well do this now, because that was the final thing I wanted to get done. It's a little bit simpler than I thought it would be for whatever reason, but yes, we're gonna be saving and returning to the dawn of the first day so that we can leave things off for the time being. Oh, hey, I made it to 3 hours, which for some reason is a bit surprising to me, even though it shouldn't be. It's basically what I aim for at this point. Oops. Sometimes I forget that this is frickin' Sherbet land in the town. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're gonna leave things off for now, so. We make the insurance save as well, which is save state 1 right here. Not that I've actually needed to use that at any point to, you know, actually recover save or anything. But when we're doing stuff like this, it kind of pays to be paranoid, as I've learned. But there we go, we got one of the dungeons out of the way. We need to actually complete the other 3, and we need to, I guess what we need to beat the game would just be like, complete all the dungeons and also find the Oath to Order at some point. If we can manage to do those 2 things, we will eventually be able to actually get to the end of the game and, I don't know, conquer the randomizer, I guess, but let's actually close that for now and restore the stream playlist that was interrupted at the start of the stream by the actual game starting. As I head on over to the end of screen, or end of stream screen / section, I guess. There we go. As I guess do a little farewell shtick, I guess, so I'll take it easy. Thank everybody for coming, like always. Thanks for chatting. Always great whenever people chat, and great to see people hanging out for this game. But if you would be willing to stick around a moment longer, I'm gonna see if I can rate somebody. Somebody that I know is streaming right now and that has been streaming these games for quite a good bit recently is a friend of mine who is pretty cool, pretty wholesome retro streamer. Let me see if I can set this up. So if you would be willing to stick around for just a minute longer, we are going to be throwing a raid at Game Tracks, who is currently playing Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, the 3rd and final game in the Castlevania DS trilogy, pretty much, and basically the last good Castlevania game that was made. Don't count Adventure Rebirth, which I think was pretty much made around the same time at any rate, so it's not a big difference, but yeah. That's pretty much it for the stream tonight, and I should be back tomorrow at probably around the same time for the next part of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and then if there's no complications, then again on Thursday for more of this randomizer, and then because I couldn't stream yesterday, I'll probably try to stream on Saturday at some point, or not sure exactly when, but probably at some point during the weekend to sort of have a make-up thing, but there we go. So you all take it easy, thanks again, and as I always say at the end of this, sticks, and otherwise I will see you later. And I thought I was going to be able to perfectly time that with the fade out of the music, but I guess I'll fade this out instead. I will. As I was saying,